It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the Eastside Real Estate team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Well, good snowy afternoon. Welcome to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW. It is Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. We are glad you are joining us today. You're probably huddled up in it with a nice warm blanket, maybe sipping some hot tea or cocoa or maybe a little bit of whiskey. I don't know. I mean, whatever you want. A hot toddy. Well, in addition to catching us live on the radio, you can also watch us live streaming on YouTube. So check us out on the 1150 KKNW YouTube channel. And if you're looking to listen to any past episodes, you can listen to our past episodes anywhere podcasts are found, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and additionally, you can find them cataloged on our website, theeastsiderealestateteam.com. All right, we've got another fantastic show today. I'm excited to talk real estate as always, and we have some fantastic guests with us. Today we have Christine Archer with Christine Archer Interiors and David Jensen with Premier Mortgage Resources. But before we get to our guests today, it's always time for some Real Talk. Today's Real Talk segment is going to be awesome for those of you out there that are thinking about, what is it, listed or remodel it? Isn't there a show?
Remodel. Oh, yeah.
Remodel.
What is it? Love It or List It?
Yeah, Love It or List It. Yeah, so this is an opportunity, Brian and I. Tell me more.
Well, we have a perfect guest today. Christine can add on or correct us, whatever we're talking about here.
Yep.
So one of the common questions that Dan and I get is should we move or remodel? And there's a number of things that we need to take into consideration when consulting with a client on this. The first question I always ask is, do you like your neighborhood?
And your neighbors.
And your neighbors. As if it's a no, well, we can't fix that with a remodel. So that's a clear, if it's a no, it's a go.
Right.
But then the question, if they say they love the neighborhood, then how do we make the house something they love? So one of the things we look at is the financial considerations.
Right.
A remodel is usually pretty expensive, but then again, so is a move. The cost of selling and buying can go a long way towards the remodel cost.
Yeah, and I think, Brian, the idea there is financially, when you're done with this remodel, because it will go over budget, everything ever always does.
Yeah.
Whatever the budget set, it's always going to go over. When you're done with it, do you love where you're living? And, I have a real life story of this. My wife and I have spent 17 years in our house. And, we're just raising a family, going about our business. And when we moved in there, we were like, oh, we got to remodel this kitchen. It's horrible. It just doesn't work. Turns out we were able to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for many, many, many years in that kitchen, right? And then we finally got to the remodel part. And I got to tell you, it feels like a brand new house.
Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic. So one other consideration is adding square footage, right? So one of the things, a remodel, it may or may not be feasible, depending on if you have a homeowners association, right? Whether or not the jurisdiction you're in will allow for it. It's not a good idea to own the most valuable home in the neighborhood. Sometimes that if you build something that is gigantic, it just kind of prices it out against its competition.
Overbuilding for the neighborhood.
So generally the cost of new construction is actually less than the cost of an addition. What's the exception to that rule, Brian?
The exception to the rule in terms of
building the biggest, baddest, best house.
Well, if you love it, I mean, if you're doing it for yourself, that's great. It's resale that becomes a problem. In a perfect real estate world, you want to own the least expensive home in the nicest neighborhood because that skews your value up. Well, the reverse is true. If you own the biggest, best home in a neighborhood that's lesser quality or desirable homes, it can skew your value down. So it's not it's an economic decision, not a personal decision. Because if you love the home and you can get the permits, go for it.
I've always heard too, it's always better to build up than out.
It's typically
more economical,
less money, right?
Because you don't have to redo foundation.
Correct.
You don't have to add more roof.
Yep.
It's the same roof.
I had a client that did exactly that, and it's perfect. They love it. They had a Rambler that they added a second story to, and it's fabulous. But they like the neighborhood. The neighborhood supports the value. Everything works. So
what do you recommend people do?
Well, one of the services that Dan and I offer is a free consultation to discuss the move or remodel. And often what we do is we'll do two market analysis. We'll do a market analysis to determine the present value. We'll do a second market analysis to determine the finished value. Now, this can also play into obtaining financing, because often people will need to pull equity out of their home, and there's even loan products out there that are specifically designed for renovation and remodel. That's right.
Yeah, construction loans, right?
There's renovation loans, and then you could actually do a construction loan, but we also want to take into account the permanent financing, the long-term financing.
Right. Because when it's done, somebody's going to turn around and buy it, and so they have to justify the value when it's
the lender wants to protect their interests, so they want to know what values are. And this can also be a way of determining if it is an overbuild for the neighborhood.
Right.
But no, I think we're in a market right now that's pretty insulated from that because of supply and demand.
And it can be a great opportunity to turn the home into the dream home you wanted. Save money, save time. Moving can be a hassle, right?
Right.
And for King County, the home sales market activity basically is right now, it's showing signs of a hotter than normal winter. I mean,
winter market.
It's a hot winter market.
Yeah.
Winter's coming. Global warming. That's what it is.
So right now, rates as low as they are, and knowing it's likely going to stay, it's a fabulous time to consider getting your dream home, even if it's right where you are now. Dan, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think the overall takeaway is it's not a simple answer. And I think every and Christine will speak to this later too, but couples go through some therapy when it comes time to doing this remodel, and it's like, hopefully you have a nice strong marriage, because you've got to make decisions and mistakes happen. I mean, maybe you ordered a sink that was too small for the space.
Really? Can that happen?
Yeah, that can happen. Luckily, I saved the day on that one too. But it's just is it worth the hassle? And they're building some really nice stuff right now. And when you look at one of the things that you could do is just go out looking at new construction homes as a couple and determine, hey, do we like this? Do we like that? Should we do that in our house? Take a picture of it.
Right.
That's a good place to get ideas.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway.
That's your takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting you'd say that, because my wife and I recently saw a new construction home that has a kitchen that would be perfect for us. And we're looking at doing a remodel. So timely guest to have here today for that discussion.
Yeah.
But no, we were able to get some really great ideas by actually, seeing, just walking through it, so that's a great idea to look that way.
I feel like our theme today is should I stay or should I go? We should have that song. Should I go now?
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Well, that concludes our Real Talk for today. And if you're interested in this topic and other topic segments, just go to the eastsiderealestateteam.com/blog. And if you'd like to talk to us directly about your real estate questions, stay, go, upgrade, remodel, just give us a call at 425-200-4093. Thanks for listening. Next up, we'll be speaking with our lender for our Mortgage Moments segment. Stay tuned. After this commercial break, you will hear from the mortgage market from Aram, our experienced loan officer with Movement Mortgage. Come on back after this break.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate Team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate Team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate Team at 425-200-4093. Or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Do you hate hiring? Of course you do. You spend hours poring over poorly written resumes, scheduling interviews for individuals who don't show up. And when you do hire, they often don't work out. It is a soul-draining experience that costs a fortune in energy, time, and money. Empowerment Strategies Coaching and Consulting takes that pain and turns it into a pleasant, stress-free, concierge-style experience for the busy entrepreneur. We do the work, and you get to make your choice from 2 or 3 top applicants. For you you, there are no resumes, no time-consuming interviews, and no mistakes. Why choose us? Well, we use tools and assessments that recruiters don't use. We partner with our clients through the entire process, and we commit to stick with you until you have a top performer in the right seat doing the right work. We can also provide additional coaching to further ensure high performance within 90 days. Our clients love the partner relationship we develop with them and come back again and again as they grow, change, and add more top-performing people. To learn more about our unique service, go to empowermentstrategiescoaching.com or call 425-254-0577. Do you want to add value to your home? Do you want to live in a beautiful home, making memories with your family? Or do you want to do both? Well, for most people, your home is your most valuable asset, and it's where you spend the most time. Christine Archer Interiors can help you do both to fit your lifestyle and your family. Christine Archer has spent more than 20 years helping clients transform their homes into a place they love. For more information, check out archerco.com or call 425-802-1549.
No other station delivers this much variety. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to the show. You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. It's now time for our Mortgage Moment segment. During the segment, we like to talk with our lender. And our topic today is whether or not having a bankruptcy or foreclosure prevents you from buying a home. And today we're talking to Aram with Movement Mortgage, an experienced loan officer. Welcome to the show, Aram.
Hello, Dan and Brian. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Good to be
thanks.
here.
So, tell us, can someone with a bankruptcy or foreclosure buy a house? Can they get financing?
Yes, absolutely. The only thing that is involved is a waiting time, and it depends what type of bankruptcy they have and how long they have to wait.
Okay.
So, tell us what kind of wait times would be expected.
With Chapter 7 and 11, they have to wait for at least 2 years if they will go for FHA or VA loan. For conventional, they have to wait for 4 years. Shorter periods are available, but it depends on the standing circumstances.
So, that's the waiting period from the discharge, is that correct?
Discharge or dismissal, yes.
Dismissal.
Okay. What about foreclosure?
Foreclosure, that's a little bit tough one. On conventional, they're going to have to wait for 7 years, and FHA 3 years. With VA, a little bit more forgiving. But foreclosure, deed in lieu of foreclosure or short sale is shorter waiting time.
This is shorter. Okay.
So, does the foreclosure drop off the credit report in 7 years? Is that part of the story?
Not guaranteed. That's what they say, but sometimes it sits there more than 7 years or 8 years. And even if people do not see it on their credit report, they have to notify a lender because if we run credit and we do not see it on the report, but the underwriter runs their software and sees it, it can actually disqualify them from jumbo loan.
So in the declarations portion of the loan app, that's one of the questions, isn't it?
Yes,
so
and some people do not do it because they assume if it's not on the credit report, they don't have to disclose it.
Gotcha. So essentially, the idea is put it all down on the loan app. That's always good,
right? And
work through it, right? So what are the programs that an individual that has a foreclosure or bankruptcy? What programs are they available for?
Well, after waiting periods pass and they're eligible, they can apply for conventional FHA, VA, USDA. The only thing that is extremely restrictive are so-called jumbo loans or corresponding loans. A lot of investors will not finance those loans if you ever had foreclosure or bankruptcy.
Never.
Doesn't matter. Never.
Wow. So conventional, it speaks to the loan amount, meaning, you're not going to be able to get a high loan balance, right? So then
Correct.
Are the interest rates higher?
No, there's no effect on interest rate. Those events just basically, person qualifies for a loan, interest rates not being affected by that.
Okay.
Interesting. I kind of assumed, well, maybe it's credit score driven, but loan level price adjustments I thought would kick in on that kind of credit history, but you're saying that's not the case.
Yeah, loan level price adjustments do not apply, but yes, you're right. Credit score will be affected if it sits on your report. It will be dragging score down.
Got it.
So last question, does the elapsed waiting period guarantee a pre-approval?
Not necessarily, because when we run Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac desktop underwriting, we have to receive a proof eligible. And if we do not, then, sometimes credit report can be a serious factor. But on government loans, like via FHA, manual underwriting is available, so we can work with that. But generally, it's not 100% guarantee.
Awesome. So if somebody's in this situation and they want to get a hold of you because they want to get in the market and buy a home, how do they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. They can call me at 425-988-4123 and reach out to me that way, and I'm always available to help people.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your insights, Saram. I appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Next up after the break will be Christine Archer of Christine Archer Interiors. Christine will be talking about interior design, maybe about loving it, leaving it, selling it. So join us right after this break.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Envision Executive Services are the experts you can turn to in case of a ransomware or other cyber attack. As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. Bill and Nathan with Envision Executive Services help you navigate through the big picture as your CIO on demand. Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com. Get an on-demand CIO working for you to protect and keep your business running. To find out more, go to www.ee-services.com. That's ee-services.com. Do you want to add value to your home? Do you want to live in a beautiful home, making memories with your family? Or do you want to do both? Well, for most people, your home is your most valuable asset, and it's where you spend the most time. Christine Archer Interiors can help you do both to fit your lifestyle and your family. Christine Archer has spent more than 20 years helping clients transform their homes into a place they love. For more information, check out archerco.com or call 425-802-1549.
Bringing good vibes to the Puget Sound and the world. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back. You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. Our first guest today is Christine Archer of Christine Archer Interiors. Christine is the creative and driving force behind Christine Archer Interiors. She has a true passion for interior design and innovation. Christine excels in transforming a home into a spectacular showcase, rich with color and beautiful accessories. Her keen eye for detail and style, as well as her execution, sets her apart. Published in industry-leading publications, Christine has been featured in home decor magazines and books such as Seattle Homes and Lifestyle, Spectacular Homes of the Pacific Northwest, and Visions of Design, an inspired collection of North America's finest interior designs. Wow. Welcome to the show,
Yeah.
Christine.
Thank you both for having me.
Oh my gosh. It sounds like I need to go pull these publications out.
They're really fun to look at.
That's awesome. So before we jump into the interior design, we like our listeners to get to know you. So when you're not interior designing, what are some of your hobbies and activities that you like to do here in the Pacific Northwest?
I love to garden. I'm always gardening and in the yard, and I love to cook. And I think that all kind of wraps around to the home.
The home, right?
And, interior design is my first love by far, but right behind those would be gardening and
cooking.
and cooking.
That's awesome.
I love to entertain and have people over, and it's all about creating a beautiful table and beautiful food to go with it.
With the whole cabin fever thing going on, my wife has been cooking a lot. She's like, I need to get back to work. I'm cooking all this stuff. I'm like, this is some good food.
So we like to ask each guest to share a fond memory about the home you grew up in. Where did you grow up?
I grew up all over. My dad transferred a lot, so I never had a house that we lived in for more than probably 4 years. So I think that's kind of helped me become an interior designer, as I got to redo my room every year, and then my mom would take me over, with her hand to go pick out furniture for the new house. So then we would always be moving into new homes.
So how is it that you knew that you wanted to become an interior designer?
I knew when I was 8 years old.
Whoa.
We had a basement, and I took chalk and I drew out the house that I pretended that I lived in. I had my parents' old sectional down there. I took my sister's old crib, and I took our old little kitchen set. And I played house down there, and I drew it into rooms, and I decorated it as if I was a grown-up with my own house. And I think that was the first time that I was like, this is what I want to do.
So it sounds like you're still doing that.
I'm still doing it.
Fun.
I was born this way. It's in my blood. I just love it so much.
So why are you a great designer to hire?
Because I really can relate to the homeowners, and I treat their home, and I love their home as much as if it was my own home. And I want the best outcome for them, and I treat the clients that way.
So
good.
What does your process look like in that? Like when somebody approaches you, you get a phone call. Christine, we've heard great things about you. What is? Kind of give me the short snapshot of your process.
So everybody's process is different. Everybody's needs are different. So first I say, let's get out to your house. Let's show me your house. Show me what you love about your house, what you don't love about your house. And then maybe I see things in your house that you don't see. Maybe we just move a piece of furniture here, or maybe we do need to do a remodel. But that very first appointment is so important, and it's tied into finding out what your needs are. And you may not even know what your needs are until I come out to your house. And then we come up with a plan after that. And we go through, like I said, everyone's different. If it's a remodel or if you just need drapes and furniture. And then I show you pictures, and I look for your reaction too. I look, and people don't realize it, but I'll just sit back and watch them if I show a piece of fabric, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, and then I was like, okay, you like blue, and that kind of leads me, because not everyone knows what they like.
Right.
Or I'll show them pictures and catalogs, and they'll be like, oh, that's beautiful. Or they'll be just the opposite. I hate that. And then I'm like, okay, let's put that aside. But after we're done with that first meeting, I get to really know who you are, and we really find a sense of what direction we need to go into.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can so relate to that, because I find in working with buyers, once I get to know them and they know me, and relax together, we walk through the door of a house, I know if it's the one in 30 seconds just by that read. And then we go through the steps to confirm. I mean, there's many, many steps after that, but that's the importance of preparing a home for sale. But I know from experience, by those kind of reactions, if it's the right home, then I usually know within 30 seconds.
And that's the rule. And I always tell somebody, people judge your home within 30 seconds of walking in.
They do. So what are your favorite trends that you're seeing for 2020?
I'm seeing. Well, we all know that Pantone Blue has come out.
Oh, there
Dusty
you go.
Blue.
What is it? Dusty blue?
It's a really pretty dusty gray blue.
Is it different from the robin's egg blue?
Blues can be blues.
I'm telling you.
But
my wife and I
kind
had
of like
that
your
conversation.
cabinets, right?
You did a great job picking it. As soon as I saw your cabinets, I was like, oh, you've got Pantone
Yay.
color of the year.
Yay.
So blue's a great color, and it's actually everyone's number one color, man or woman.
Really?
It seems to be one of the number one colors. So that's going to be a great 2020.
Seems like a good
forward.
palette, right? Because you can work around it.
There's a lot of colors you can add to it, too, that could really make it fresh. Another thing I see a lot of is a lot of black and white is very popular, and a lot of black windows are becoming a big trend this year.
I saw one down by the lake. They had black windows going in, black framed. Is it what is it? Aluminum? They look like they're aluminum.
Like an anodized aluminum?
Yes.
Or are
and
they a black vinyl?
They could be either. They could be
Interesting.
either. It's really huge in the new construction, and new windows are going that way. Don't ask me how long the trend will be. I don't know, but it's very more modern a very more
Got it.
modern,
Interesting.
contemporary look. With that being said, bringing the black and white in, then we need to bring texture in. And so bringing texture in is very important if you're going to go into that direction of black and white.
By texture, we're talking on the floor, yeah?
That's one way of adding texture. Wallpaper, seagrass wallpaper could
Is
be
back?
huge. Oh, it's back. It's fabulous. And blankets, baskets, some easy ways to accessorize. Those are other texture ways to add.
What's the deal with all the pendants? That seems to be such a big thing.
Well, not so much.
Are they going away?
I'm not going to say they're going away. A lot of times they're doing one big piece of chandelier over the island,
Yeah.
or two bigger pieces instead of the three small pendants going
Pendants,
over the
right?
island.
Yeah.
And really depends on the scale of the island or the area. And that's what is really important. I think that's people's most hardship in a kitchen is knowing scale. And they all tend to just to go run and buy three little small pendants when the space can really hold something big. And they don't realize they're just really shrinking the space instead of making the space look bigger.
Oh, interesting.
So what are your favorite parts of the house to decorate?
I love everything. Absolutely everything.
The question says, what's your favorite parts? And you're saying, oh, I love it all.
Well,
so
the
there's got to be
kitchen is-
something that stands out.
The kitchen is the heart of the home
Okay.
and the family area, and that's where everybody ends up.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just make that, and it's the number one selling reasons of a house is how great your kitchen is.
The kitchen, yeah.
And second would be
Master.
master bath. But so why wouldn't you want that to be the best?
Good
Okay.
point. What do you look for inspiration?
I love Amazon. I'm not Amazon. Pinterest and
Yeah.
House is great to look at, and Instagram. I do a lot of Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Any particular accounts you like looking at on Instagram? If you can remember. I don't know.
Well, I love Rachel Parcells. She's always she did a beautiful house. She's a fashion blogger as well.
Okay.
She's awesome. And Like to Know Where Your Home is another one that's awesome. And Angela, the creator, who is out of Arizona, has just become one of my new favorites and is doing these incredible houses and a great designer as well.
Awesome. So lighting, we talked a little bit about that, and it's super important to you. Why?
Well, most people don't realize how important lighting is. We all need overhead lighting, but then we also need mood lighting. And one thing that you'll walk into a room and they'll have two lamps, okay, and they're on one side of the room, and you don't know what's wrong with that side of the room. You might feel lopsided or you don't understand, but something's wrong. You need a minimum of a triangle of lighting in a room to feel balanced. And if you don't have that, you will not feel balanced in that room. And that's just like one of the tricks of, being a designer that most people don't know, that, I try to help them make sure that when they're in a room that they have that relaxed, I feel equal, I feel good in that space.
I thought it was just the vertigo.
No.
That's interesting because I never really thought about a triangle.
Now, every time you walk into a room, you're going to be like, she's right.
It's too dark.
So,
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
So are there other small changes that can make a big impact?
Paint. Paint is huge.
Okay.
And a lot of people now, you don't have to redo your whole kitchen. Sometimes we're just doing a lot of painting your cabinets. And you could pick any color you want to do. Or we could paint your cabinets a beautiful white surround and do a really fun color for your island. Green or blue, or whatever, your choice is. And then we could sprinkle that color throughout the room and the adjoining room and cross-pollinate a little bit of that color. So it's something that you could add a little color in a small space to give a great impact.
Yeah. And I would say one of the things in defense of calling somebody like Christine is, I know Brian and I have gone in a lot of homes, and you'll go into a home and you'll think to yourself, this was their best thinking that came up with this design or this color or this floor plan or whatever it is, and you're just kind of scratching your head because it makes it hard to sell.
Yes.
Right.
And whether or not there are things that you can do that are timeless when you're doing a remodel on an interior, and there's some things that were like just perfect for you. Don't do that. Find somebody like Christine, but Are we talking an arm and a leg? I mean, how much does this
No.
process cost?
I mean, like I said, everybody has a different need, but I can't stress highly enough, by investing into your home, it is only going to make you money. It is most people's biggest asset that they have, and it is the biggest thing that makes them money. So now, why not put money into it, which is only going to bring you more money in the end when it's time to sell.
Well, and putting money in the right spots, right? Like we just talked about
Absolutely.
pendants, right? It's like, oh yeah, the standard is 3 pendants. When the island is, or the peninsula is short, now it's crowded. It feels crowded. You don't know why it's crowded. Yeah, I think
Space is everything, and knowing what the correct dimensions are to go into certain spaces is very big. And most people don't know that. That is a great reason why you should be calling an interior designer, so you can know which fits in a space. A lot of times people think that putting little furniture in a little room will make the room look bigger, which is not the case. Usually doing a bigger piece of furniture in a smaller room can make the room look bigger.
Oh.
So the time we have left, so probably need a fairly short answer. Christine and I were chatting before the show, and I was very pleased to learn process, start to finish. Could you do a quick outline on start to finish process? I mean, I was impressed with the fact that you take it from start to finish.
Yes.
Client has an option for that.
Absolutely. I come in and consult, and we come up with a plan. And once the plan is made, whether it is we're remodeling the kitchen or we're just doing drapes and furniture, I take it from the beginning to the end. I have people that work on with me to help that happen. I will manage the whole remodel or the whole design process, whatever has to happen. Like I said, everyone's individual. And I will take it to the very end, accessorize, and till you have a beautiful room or a beautiful home.
Excellent. Diane, if you're listening, we're going to have an appointment soon with Christine.
So at the end of the day, any time in the process, how do our listeners get a hold of you?
You can look at my website with archerco.com or call me at 425-802-1549.
Archerco.com.
Archerco.com.
Get lots of pictures of
Yes.
work and.
You could see some of my work on there, my before and afters.
All right, awesome.
Perfect.
Well, Christine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
All right. Do you happen to have any special offers for any of our listeners right now?
Yes, anything that's purchased through me, I would be happy to give 10% off.
Awesome. Very good. All right. All right. Coming up after the break, we've got David Jensen with the Jensen Mortgage Group. So come on back right after this break.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate Team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate Team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate Team at 425-200-4093. Or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Do you remember the feeling when you fell in love with and made an offer on your home? Green Design specializes in creating those magic moments for buyers by showcasing your home in its best light. Our expert home staging assures that buyers create an emotional attachment to your home. Tiffany and her talented staging team have quickly become one of the East Side's most respected home staging companies, having been awarded in customer satisfaction many times over by House. When it's time to sell your home with confidence, call Tiffany with Green Design's Home Staging to schedule your consultation. You can call or text 206-795-3686 or visit their website at greendesignsllc.com.
Are you worried about finding reliable care for a loved one? Interim Healthcare provides certified professional caregivers so that people who are ill, disabled, recovering, or elderly can remain safe and comfortable in their own homes. If you or a loved one Needs reliable and quality care? Call us at 425-274-3720. Again, that's 425-274-3720.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/1150kknw.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan.
Our next guest is David Jensen with Premier Mortgage Resources.
So David is a mortgage banker for over the last 27 years, and he specializes in HECM loans. What the heck are HECM loans? Well, they are reverse mortgages. David, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, David did not want to brave the inclement weather out there, so he is joining us via the bat phone.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Real Talk Hotline. So, David, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. What are you doing when you're not doing HECM loans?
My wife and I have a large family, and I enjoy my children and my grandchildren, and it's a good life.
Nice.
Great life.
Any hobbies besides the kiddos?
I love my grandchildren. They're special.
Yeah, that's good.
Excellent.
I know the feeling.
So we also like to ask our guests a little bit more about the home they grew up in. So tell us about where did you grow up and give us a fond memory of that house.
I remember growing up in Arcadia, California. I started grade school in a home that my father had built. I have myself and 6 siblings, so there were 7 of us, and my dad built a large home. And it was, homes are special. There were memories are formed. The teaching of the home is important and lasts forever. And those are critiques that I've had on my desires that I wanted to go ahead and share my business and with my children. So I think when we talk about families, to me, I think about homes. I think about the importance that it has on the posterity that we create.
So that home in Arcadia, was that a 4-bedroom, 4,000 square foot home or what?
It was a 5-bedroom, 2,500 square foot home.
Okay, that's a pretty good size for a family of, what, 7?
7 kids and mom and dad.
Mom and dad. Wow, that's a lot of people in that home. Well, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. What is a HECM loan, or is it a reverse mortgage?
A HECM stands for Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. They call it for short HECM. A HECM is a reverse mortgage. The HECM reverse mortgage is actually an FHA loan set up by the FHA, guaranteed by the federal government. In the beginning, the HECM loans were allow homeowners 62 years and older to tap into a portion of their equity to help supplement retirement income. Borrowers don't have to make monthly payments. They must keep the home current on their taxes. They must live in the home. Homeowners can borrow either a lump sum up front or they can get income over the period of time, but the benefit is that they do not have to pay it back during their lifetime as long as they're living in the home.
So they're basically making no payments except for their property taxes and insurance.
And they must maintain the home.
Gotcha. Got to keep it up.
So I assume the maximum loan to value is determined at the time of the loan origination. What is the loan to value on a HECM loan?
The loan to value really is determined more by age than anything else. This is not a credit-driven loan, although you have to have a history of making your mortgage payments for at least 2 years. But it's supposed to be determined on that. And when you're age 62, that's the minimum age. They will lend about 38%. You get up higher, goes to 40, 45. I just completed a loan for this wonderful lady who lives in Issaquah, who's 98 years old, and they lend her 60% of the value of her home. So there's a range difference.
Right.
So there are a ton of myths out there about it, and maybe you can answer some of those. So, for example, can your spouse be thrown out of the house when one of you passes?
No, the government was very clear on that, and they've corrected that because sometimes spouses are under 62 years old. They've made the changes in the last few years so that spouses are protected, and they live in there as long as they stay in that home, as long as they live there, although you must start paying the loan when you turn 150 years old.
150?
150, yeah.
All right.
I
Sounds
don't
like a
think
safe
they've
bet.
started that process yet, but that's written in the document.
It's written
Interesting,
there. That's
yeah.
funny.
So how about when, both the owners are deceased? What happens to the property?
This is one of the nicest things I like about it. I tell people that generally if you stop up your regular mortgage and you stop making the mortgage payment, the first month the lender's going to wink at it. Second month they're going to send you a letter, and the third month they're going to start foreclosure.
Right.
On this program, when the borrowers are no longer living in the home, they've moved out, they've moved into an assisted living home or something like that, they actually have 12 months. They have an automatic 6 months, and then there's 2 automatic 3-month extensions. So they give you 6 months to take care of it.
By take care of it, you mean sell the home or pay?
They
off
have
the
an
loan?
option of either selling it. They have an option of refinancing it and then owning the home, paying back what's owed on the loan.
Mhm.
But that's when the money starts becoming due.
One of the maybe it's a myth, maybe it's a fact, but I've heard that the owner can get a discount by selling the home rather than letting it go back to the lender. A discount on the principal amount. Is there truth to that?
Really, in fact, let me tell you a quick story on that one. I have a gentleman who I knew did a reverse mortgage. I didn't know him, but I knew his kids. He did a reverse mortgage. He owned the home free and clear. This was here in the Seattle area. He bought the home for $500,000. He was able to get a line of credit. He didn't need any money, but got a line of credit for $300,000. And the way the line of credit work with the government is those lines of credit grow every year you don't use it by about 5%. About a few years ago, back in the 08, 09 era, he brought his family together and says, I've got some bad news. I've got cancer. I'm going to die in 2 months. He told his family what to do, and here's what they did. They celebrated that time. When it was done, he gave his family a check for $386,000, which was the accumulated value of his line of credit. So he had owed nothing against the home. He now could write a check. Immediately, he owed $386,000. The home during that period of time was only worth $300,000.
Wow.
Now, because they were heirs and the home was underwater, FHA allowed them to buy the home for actually 95% of the value at that time. So they went and paid, the value of the home was $300,000. They went and paid $285,000. Now they had $386,000 sitting in the bank. So they paid off the home. They owned the home free and clear and had another 100 plus still sitting in the bank.
Wow, that's crazy.
Good story.
That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. So these have got to be more expensive than a conventional loan, right?
No, they aren't. They're about the same rate as an FHA loan. You have an upfront mortgage insurance premium you pay on it, and the fees that are charged for loan origination fees are the same. We're limited and controlled by the government on that.
So then who is a good candidate? I mean, when you think about the people that you've helped, who's a good candidate for talking to you?
Well, for starts, they have to be over 62. Okay. Not both of them, but one of them must be over 62. I had a sweet woman who lived in Bellevue. Bellevue property has gone up quite a bit lately. She owned this home almost outright. She sold the home, and she obtained out of proceeds out of about $800,000. She needed to have income. She had was Social Security. Now she could have taken $800,000 and done that, but she wanted to have a home, so she went and used a HECM loan to do a purchase. You can do an FHA HECM purchase, and she paid about 50% down on it. So she put $400,000 down for a fourplex. She lived in one. She has income coming in, so she's now having income of about $6,000 plus a month coming off of her property. Before, all she had was about $1,500 a month Social Security.
Wow.
So, David, I'm a facilitator for Dave Ramsey, the Financial Peace University, and I don't know if you've heard Dave Ramsey, his take on reverse mortgages. So
I've heard that, and I love Dave Ramsey.
Well, one of the things he says is a reverse mortgage is for people that do not want their children to have an inheritance. So can you address that? Can you talk about, and I think you did partially talking about the example with the that $386,000 withdrawal. But what would your response be to Dave Ramsey?
First of all, Dave Ramsey is a wonderful person. I'm a real fan of him, and most all the things he said. On this one, I will politely
yeah, we'll start that controversy here, right? Yeah.
So here's the point. A lot of people will say, "Gosh, I want to leave money for my for my kids. I want to do that." My answer is, "Hey, they're 40, 50 years old. They haven't learned how to take care of themselves." Now, here's the way it works out.
Buy them a financial peace course. Yeah.
Here's the deal. The lenders will not lend 100% on this.
Sure.
They're going to let the borrower is going to be able, the person who owns the home is going to be basically using approximately about half of it. The other half is still going to be there. Tell you what, time after time I go through, and part of the process requires us going through and taking it out for 10, 20, 30 years, showing them what is going to happen, using what the government pretends that they believe is going to happen. The federal government uses a term of 4% nationally for home appreciation. That's kind of the secret sauce that makes things work.
Yeah.
In the Seattle market, we haven't always had 4%, but we've averaged well over that 4%. Right. Everyone will tell you that. And if you take the numbers down and have a growth of the mortgage over time, you have a growth of the equity over time because of the appreciation of the home. The equity that's going to left for the estate will go on and on and on. Again, let me go back to my friends who, 98-year-old mother I used to do a loan for. They love what's happened. They said, my mother's living longer because she's living in her own home.
Well, and I wanted to point out something that, maybe you can speak to this as well, is, there are a fair amount of folks that are living in a home that are equity rich. They've got a ton of equity in it, but aren't able to maintain it or live a healthier lifestyle because they don't have the funds, right? They're living off Social Security, so that Social Security does not pay for maintenance on the exterior of the home. It doesn't pay for the windows being replaced. It doesn't pay for all of that stuff. And instead of enjoying their twilight where they can travel and go to Italy or they can go and visit their grandkids in Philadelphia, they're stuck in this home with equity and collecting Social Security. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that might be somebody you want to talk to about just maybe adding a little bit more income by having this reverse mortgage. Is that a good candidate for what you provide?
That's a perfect candidate. That's a great explanation you gave.
Because it does. I mean, I know I can think of people where I'm just like they're trapped. They've got their set income, and they took all their money and they put it in their house because they didn't want to have that big amount of debt. And they're just kind of sitting there going, well, we can go to the movies this weekend or we can do this, but they can't do anything else because they don't have any durable income. And they don't want to, like you said, they don't want to leave their children, with no, which I think is kind of funny at the same time. It's like Brian said, their children can take care of themselves, right? They need to learn how to, but it's kind of an interesting concept. And I think it's something that if there are any listeners out there that are thinking, I don't know, I'm scared, Brian's reference to Dave Ramsey, I think we get that, but there's got to be a responsible way to do this.
There is a responsible way to do that, and the federal government's done this. Generally, there's three aspects of an FHA HECM loan. There are one, generally they pay off the existing mortgage. Two, they generally get some cash up front. And then third, they get a line of credit. The line of credit cannot be touched for 12 months. The purpose on this, frankly, is they want to make sure that the homeowner doesn't suffer from too much immediate retail therapy.
Retail therapy. That's a good line.
So they go ahead and protect them. Their interest is protecting the senior citizens. They must take a class from a certified counselor that they have to have signed off before I can, frankly, start the process.
So, David, thank you so much for coming on and share this. We're about out of time. So, are you only licensed in Washington State, or can you do this anywhere?
I'm licensed in 8 different states and have connections with people in most of the states here that I do. Yes.
Okay.
David, how do our listeners...
I just recently closed one in Idaho for the people in Sun Valley.
Oh, okay.
She stayed in her home, and now she has money for her green fees.
Nice.
David, how do our listeners get a hold of you?
I can be reached at my phone number at 425-260-5080, or they can contact me my email, which is david.jensen@pmrloans.com. That's david.jensen@pmrloans.com.
David, thank you for coming on the show today.
It's my pleasure.
So remember that all segments of our show are available to watch on our YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more about any of our guests, please subscribe. Join us after the break for some final thoughts and something fun to do.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
It's about time. Do you find you never have enough time for what matters most to you? Our comprehensive It's About Time virtual productivity program teaches you the secrets of long-term, sustainable, and life-changing productivity. We provide monthly webinars, implementation challenges, resources, community, and accountability. You'll learn tips, techniques, and strategies to help you more effectively and efficiently manage your email, tasks, time, workspace, priorities, projects, and resources. You'll implement organized systems and productive habits that work. You'll finally get better results at work, experience less stress, have more time to dote on your clients, time to spend with your family and friends, take better care of yourself, pursue hobbies, and get more out of life. Do you crave more time for what matters most? Are you ready to take control? Isn't it about time? Well, to start having more time for what matters most to you, call us at 206-579-5743 or visit our website for more information at www.itssimplyplaced.com. Again, that's 206-579-5743 or visit our website www.itssimplyplaced.com. Join today because really, it's about time. Your time.
Giving local voices a chance to shine. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Real Talk on 1150 KKNW. Let's get right into our final thought of the day, Brian. What do you got?
Well, one of my friends was giving me a hard time about something I wouldn't say I say it too often, but I say it a lot. There's never been a better time to buy a home.
Oh, they're giving you a hard time
They give me a hard time because I
on.
just feel like, I'm an advocate for real estate. But the thing I thought of that I thought cracked me up was the line, the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago or today.
Yeah.
Best time to buy a home 20 years ago or today. So
now that you're going to change your sign. I like
it,
that.
yeah.
What's the best time to buy? Well, 20 years ago
or today.
I like that. That's a great one. Well, listen, we thank you all for joining us today. We do have it looks like some improv festival. Wait, it says Once Told Tales Improv Festival. You don't think it's a festival?
A Festivus festival.
Maybe that's a typo. All right. So head on over to the Redmond Town Center in downtown Redmond to experience the last weekend of the Once Told Tales Improv Festival. The Festival of Improv Troupe assemblies, this Festival of Improv Troupes assembles really fun indie groups with different lineups for 4 or 5 every night. Go on Friday at 8 p.m. for uncensored shows, so don't bring the kiddies.
Don't bring the kids. Yeah.
Saturdays, 7 p.m. for all ages. Okay, so in order to get more information, you can go to www.oncetoldtales.com.
So that concludes our show for the week. I especially want to thank our guests, Christine and David, for taking the time to speak with us. It was a really great show, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you all for listening. And before I go, I found this quote I'd love to share. The ache for home lives in us all, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned. Maya Angelou.
I was supposed to do that with the clip.